Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a speed reviews video, and I have a crap ton of products to go through. It's been a while since I filmed one of these, and I've had like an influx of some items. So sit down, get comfy, grab a drink or a snack. I just made myself a coffee because I just know I'm gonna need it to get through this. Also, sorry if my bed being unmade bothers you guys. I did not even think about that when I had this like setup done in here, and I'm washing all of the laundry and the bedding today. So if that bothers you, I'm sorry. At least it's all clean. I don't know. But anyways, if you like these kind of videos, I will be sure to link the playlist below. Also, if you want to see what I have on my face and how I created this look, I will also link that video below. But yeah, let's go ahead and just jump on in. I have 3 products that have already been decluttered, returned, whatever. So I'm going to start with those because I'm going to have to be inserting photographs for those. The first one is the Buxom Plumping Gloss. This is like a longtime fave. I feel like I hear a lot of people talk about it. I felt like the formulation overall was comfortable. It wasn't too stingy or burny. However, I didn't really feel like it made that much of a difference in terms of plumping my lips. I ultimately decluttered it just because like the shade was too warm on me, so I wasn't gonna wear it. But overall, I didn't think the formula was bad. I just think if you want like a really plumping product, you would probably be disappointed with that one. Next up is the Coola Tinted Serum or Tinted Sunscreen. When I first got this, I got the shade Rose, which is the lightest shade, I believe, and the tone was a little too cool for my skin tone, and I felt like it was kind of making me look gray. I was using a product to mix in to kind of counteract that, and that was helpful. The coverage of this was very sheer to light. It was a very like subtle tint, but it dried down like pretty matte, and I could apply makeup over it and it looked nice overall. However, there was something in this that my skin did not like. It broke me out. My skin was so irritated, red, rashy, like hot to the touch, like inflamed. So I don't know what in particular the product or ingredient was in that product that my skin did not like, but it was not into it. So that being said, I returned it because it was like a $50 product, and my face was like, no girl, can't wear this. The next product is the Benefit Bang, the Benefit Bang Waterproof Mascara. I decluttered it because, wow. If you want something waterproof, that one is for you. Like literally, I felt like, and I know what I'm talking about, I feel like I reviewed this one in the last one because I was like, it's something that literally took me days to get it off my lashes. Like that was coming off for no one, and I had to work to get it off. So I'll keep that review short because I'm pretty sure I talked about that one last time. But if you want something truly waterproof, sweatproof, life-proof, that is the one that you want because it is not coming off for anyone. I just don't prefer a mascara like that. I don't want to work that hard to get a mascara off my lashes. So it was a no from me, and I would not recommend it. Sorry. Also, dog noises. I don't know. Thorn has been acting really weird today. So the next product, these are all out in front of me. I have them physically, and we're going to run through them in no particular order. I'm going to just be grabbing what is close and available. The first product is the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. I know everyone like loves this, and it had like a pretty big moment of fame. This is what the wand looks like. I hate this. One, this is so flimsy. Like I cannot even get up in and under my lash to really get it because like it can't even hold the weight of my lashes. It does lengthen, I feel like, to a degree. Sorry, someone was at the door. But yeah, essentially that mascara is too waterproof for my preferences. Next up, we have the CALIRAY Sundrip Bronzing Serum. I have not used this all over my face. Recently on social media, I've seen people using it that way to like prep their skin almost like a primer and then going over it. I have not tried that yet. I tried it just as a traditional serum bronzer where I'm applying it with a brush. I really liked it that way. I will say this, in my experience, did not play well with a lighter coverage base, which I thought was kind of surprising because I thought it would struggle with full coverage, but it struggled with light coverage. I paired it with the Rose Inc Skin Tint Serum, and when I put this on top of it, it pulled up everything and clumped together and got really not great. But when I use it with a full coverage base, like my KVD Good Apple Balm, that is like full coverage, it applies beautifully and I have no issues with it. So I don't know, I really like it that way. This tone is really pretty for my particular skin tone. It was easy to build up and use. Definitely something I'll reach for, especially through the summer months. And now that I've seen people trying it as like an all under base, I might try it that way as well. Next up, I have the About Face blush. These are the Cheek Freaks. This is the shade Cowgirl. That's what it looks like in the pan. I've used this a handful of times and I will say that the formula is nice. It's emollient. It's pretty easy to work with. The odd thing was that like this also struggled to pair with a light coverage base. And this like just was pulling stuff up and it wasn't setting on it nicely. But then when I used it with something more full coverage, I didn't have that issue. It's very long lasting, pigmented, bright. I'm not going to keep it though because I picked this up hoping it would be a dupe shade for Smolder from Phytosurgents, but it's not brown toned enough. It's a much brighter orange than, I don't know where I left off. This is like the day of 100 interruptions. But yeah, so essentially like there's nothing wrong with this. It's just so much brighter in tone than I anticipated. The formula is nice, creamy, thin, easy to work with, really long lasting. So it has a lot of really good traits. It just didn't end up being like what I was looking for specifically. The next product is from Pacifica and it is their Dreamlit Glow Concealer. This one, it's not focusing, okay, is in the shade 11. And it is pretty, what is this doing? There we go. The doe foot is nice. The shade is just like really light for me right now. And unfortunately, I'm gonna scream. It's like, I hardly ever film and then as soon as I try to, it just drives me insane. I'm like, this is why I have no patience for this. But yeah, the coverage is nice. It's long wearing. It looks great under my eyes. The shade range is just absolute trash, to be honest. I think there's only like 4 or 5 shades, and this shade, it will be a good winter shade for me, but it does not work for me right now, and the next shade up would be way too deep. So that kind of sucks about it. For that reason, I probably wouldn't recommend it just because like there's so little in terms of range. The next product is from KVD Beauty. It is their Everlasting Liquid Mattes, and this one is in the shade Queen of Poison, and this is like one of the few shades that carried over from like before. So I picked it up because I really liked it. It's dark, it's vampy, it's definitely not something that like I will personally wear all the time, but it is something that like I like to have for when I am wanting a more intense vampy lip. The formula itself is not as smooth as I remember. It's a little bit more drying. I used to prefer these liquid lips because they were so much more hydrating than typical matte liquid lips, but this one I feel like is more drying than I recall, but maybe that's just because my preferences have changed so much. I don't know. Okay, next up is a liquid shadow from Ace Beauté. This is the shade Steel at Dusk, and this is literally freaking stunning. It is so beautiful on the lid. Like, it looks metallic here, but on the lid, it is so sparkly. and it is long lasting. It did not crease. It held up really great throughout the day, and it just looked stunning. I don't know if they have more shades in this, but it was beautiful. I just used like a small brush like this to tap it onto my lid, and it applied great that way. I highly recommend these if you're looking for just like an easy go-to quick liquid shadow. Next up is the Ulta Beauty, wow, showed you the back of it. I bet that's helpful. The matte eye primer. If you've been in any of my other videos, you know I've been using this actively and I've been enjoying it. I feel like it is very similar to the Urban Decay Potion Primer, but I feel like this has like slightly more of a tint to it. So if that one's a little too translucent for you, this one is good as well. The application is easy. I typically just use a brush. It is really long lasting. Like I said, my makeup doesn't crease. Things blend out nicely on top of it. So I would definitely recommend this one. It's a really affordable option, and Ulta, the brand, does sales all the time on their products. And I actually got this like half off for $6. So yeah, a very affordable option. I would highly recommend it. The next product is the Benefit Do La La. I have the shade Nova, which is marketed as a medium tan shade. And I have not used it as a traditional highlighter yet because the shade is obviously like not gonna work for me in that way. But it is marketed as a all over the face, apply all over the face with the fingertips, wear on your bare skin or over makeup. So I applied it like all over my bare skin, and then I put foundation over, worked fine, looked fine. And then I've been using it as just kind of like a little bit of a glowy mix-in as well. And it looks nice that way. So this is really great as a mix-in. I can't attest to how it works as far as like just strictly highlighting because I don't use it that way. But it works great that way, and this packaging is so like pretty and cute. I love it. I don't know, it just feels like summer. Next up is the REM Beauty Blurring Primer. I have really been enjoying this. It goes on clear. It's like a little bit more of that thick jelly texture, but it's not like drying and chalky. It's like smooth, and I used it today actually on this look. And I've really been loving this. It doesn't disrupt my makeup or anything like that. I was gifted this through Ipsy, so I'm not sure on the price point, but I guarantee it is like less expensive than the Smashbox one that I have. And I think that I like this a lot better. So I've really been enjoying that, and I would recommend it if you are looking for a blurring primer. The next product is from L'Oreal Paris. It is the True Match Lumi Glotion. I have the shade Light, and I've just been applying it all over my face as a base. I have it on today, and this product is honestly just like beautiful. I apply it with a brush, and it sinks into my skin so nicely. It gives it the most gorgeous glow. I think this would be a really pretty all-in-one for a quite literally no makeup look, just to give yourself like a more juicy, healthy, glowy skin look. I think this would be great for that. It wears really nicely under my makeup, doesn't disrupt it at all, and it's hydrating. It just like makes my skin feel good overall. So yeah, I've really been loving this one, and I would definitely recommend it. A primer I would not recommend is the Ciate Linen Vitamin Boost Plumping Primer, another product I got through Ipsy. This packaging is really cute. However, this just did not play well with any of my base products. Everything was like peeling up or gunking up or breaking up super bad. So something about this just wasn't meshing with my body chemistry or with the products that I was using. But yeah, it just made my makeup look like absolute garbage. So I would not recommend this, and I'm not keeping it. Next up is the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Natural Matte color correcting, pore refining, full coverage cream, skin balancing serum, broad spectrum SPF 40 thing from my cosmetics. It's literally like a million things all in one. As you can see, like it's literally just crazy. I have 2 shades. This one is light neutral and this one is fair beige. I tested these out for a while and they are, I want to say they're finicky, but I just think they didn't work for me. Like something about them was not working for me. I've seen them work well for a lot of other people. The weird thing is that this, for me, looked really great from like here up. It looked beautiful. But from like here down, everything was just breaking up, looking like all collected in little places and just like broken up everywhere. It looked terrible. And I couldn't figure out like why it looks so good everywhere else, but not anywhere down here. Like obviously I talked throughout the day and stuff, and I tried like some different application methods and different combinations in terms of like what's going on my base before I apply this, and nothing I did could make it work, which really sucks because it looked so good all up in here, but just after like 3-4 hours it was wrecked all on like the lower half of my face. So for me, I would not recommend it because it didn't work for me, but I've seen it work well for other people, and so it could work for you. This is, I was trying to think. I have no idea what I was gonna say. Literally my whole brain just went blank. So anyways, I wouldn't recommend it, but maybe it'll work for somebody else. I don't know. I have combination leaning dry skin. So I was like, maybe that's why it didn't work, but it worked fine all up here. So I don't really know what the deal was with these, but unfortunately, this didn't work for me. Next up, I have the KVD Good Apple Blush Balm Duo. I have the shade Secret Thicket, and I'll swatch them out for you guys. Oof, the balm be balming. These are the shades. The one side is much brighter than I thought it was gonna be. I don't know why, but it's brighter than I thought it was gonna be. Even this tone, when I get it onto my skin, is much brighter. These are, in my experience, really long lasting. They spread out, blend out really easily, but they are pigmented. So go in with a little bit and work up. I literally just will do one little tap and then I work it into my skin, and that's usually enough. So less is more with this. They're very pigmented, which is kind of nice because I know some people were complaining about how small the pan sizes were, but honestly, you don't need that much product. So maybe that's like it too. It's gonna last you longer because you don't need that much. But yeah, these are pigmented, but I do like the way that they look. They're long lasting, comfy on the skin. The shades are gorgeous. I've even mixed them a little bit before. Yeah, I would recommend this if it sounds like that is something that is up your alley. Another blush is the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek. This is the shade Werk. This one I have is described as like a dusty mauve, I believe. I literally love this. That's the shade. I just go in it on top with like my brush and can apply it all over, and it looks so pretty. It blends out easily. It's so easy to work with, long lasting, juicy on the cheeks, all the things. I saw so many like bad reviews about this, but I picked up the mini with a like Sephora offer, and I'm so glad that I did because I love it. Like I would consider picking up a replacement or even like more shades of it because it is just stunning. And the formula is so stinking good. So yeah, I would recommend this one. Next up, I have a little baby. It's a mini of the Jane Ardell, what is this called? The Just Kissed Lip and Cheek Stain in the shade Forever Pink. I love this little guy. Like I want to buy one probably when it's gone. It does like tint my cheeks pretty, or my lips pretty pink. But in a pretty way. It looks like a pretty light wash that's like more, not a natural color, but not like I have something on them. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's nice. It's hydrating. I liked how it layers under other products as well, or with gloss. Yeah, it's really nice. I think it's a really great just like lip stain. I would be curious to know like how the deeper shades perform, but this light pink shade is really nice. Next up, I have an eyeliner from Lith. We got this in an Ipsy. The shade is Coffee Bean. It's a pretty like espresso-y brown color right there. I didn't feel like it smudged out very well like it says that it will. So I didn't feel like it did a good job of smudging, but I've used it like on the wing, and I think this isn't one I'm gonna reach for often, but there's a time and a place for it when I'm wanting like a brown wing moment. And I have used it like actually like a handful of times here lately now that we're in the summer and like bronze is the vibe, at least for me. So yeah, this is okay. I don't think that I would go out of my way to like recommend it. I think there are a lot better liners out there, but it's nice. I also used the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy drops. I know that everyone and their mom loves these and have already reviewed them, and I'm like the last of the train. That's fine. I do think that these are good. I don't use them on their own. I add them to products that are like a little bit too light for me. I add like 1 or 2 drops of this, and I feel like that helps with it. I don't think I'll go out of my way to like repurchase one just because like I'm lazy and I don't want to mix stuff up and then put it together on my face. I would rather layer than mix, but that's just like a personal preference. If you're someone who doesn't mind mixing and you enjoy that process, then I definitely could see you enjoying this as well. But for me, it just is like too much work. The next product you guys are probably tired of hearing me fucking talk about is the IT Cosmetics Hello Sunshine Invisible SPF 50. I'm literally so obsessed with this. I use it all the freaking time. It lays so beautifully under my makeup. It gives the most gorgeous like glow. It sinks in nicely. There's no white cast. It doesn't pill. It just, oh my God, it makes everything look so much better. Plus you're like SPF 50. This is like hands down probably one of my favorite products that I've tried / discovered this year so far. It is freaking incredible. I have several get ready with me's using it. I have like a solo demo short using it, talking about it. But yeah, this is just phenomenal. And I mean, I will definitely like repurchase it once it's gone. It is so freaking good. Next up is a mascara. This is from What's Up Beauty. It's their Watch Me mascara. I've been using this quite a bit lately, actually. The wand is one of those where it has this side and then it has those little teeth down there that you can pull forward some of it to help add, like separate and add length. Overall, I've really been enjoying this. I feel like it does give you a little bit of that volume factor and the length factor. It also does not like flake on me or transfer. I overall think this is a very solid mascara. I don't think it like compares to the Bite Beauty one, but I think this is a solid one that actually does something for my lashes, whereas like a lot of other ones really haven't. This also holds a curl really well, which is super important to me. So if you're looking for a good mascara, I do think that this is a really nice one and I would recommend it. The packaging is also like pretty weighted, which is really nice, and I personally appreciate that. Next up, I know this might be like, it is skincare, but also, you know, use that. It affects makeup, whatever. It is the Element Superfood Facial Oil, and I wanted to mention this because like I love it. I held off forever because of the price point, but then when my skin started freaking out, I just wanted an oil that I felt like would take care of my skin and help it. And this has done just that. Like literally, it is so hydrating, gentle, and also like the natural scents of it are just very like relaxing and makes me think of like a spa. I don't know. It's great, makes my skin feel so good. Sometimes I use it in the morning as well, and I love the way that my makeup plays with it and lays over the top of it. So if you're looking for a solid facial oil, I think that this is a really great option. Next up is the Isle of Paradise Sunny Serum Instant Face Bronzer. This is like, I was confused. I'm like, is this supposed to be like a face tanner, a serum mix-in, like a bronzer, like what? And it really was not very clear on their site or on the packaging what it actually was supposed to be. So I kind of tried it in all the ways, and it's terrible. I don't know who this works for. It looks like it would be good, like pretty right here on tone, but this mixes with nothing. If you put it under your foundation or on top of your foundation, it will not mix. It literally peels off in these like balls and strands that literally look like gray, icky dirt all over your face. Like, it is horrendous, to say the least. It has ruined my makeup more than one time. So I don't know who these are working for, but they did not work for me, and they literally just like messed everything up. I thought that these were horrid. I'm decluttering them. FYI, if you had your eyes on them, I would skip. There are so many other options for serum bronzing products that I think would just surpass this product so easily. Next is the Lawless, what are these, the Plumping, they're balm sticks. I have the shade Sugar Plum, which looks like this. I got this in an Ipsy a few months ago, and I wasn't even gonna try it because I'd had one before when they initially launched, and honestly, I hated it. I thought it was like terrible. And then someone told me that they updated the formula, so I gave it a go. And I'm really glad that I did because I love this one. The shade is so pretty, like such a plummy wash on the lips. And it also like isn't drying. It's kind of hydrating. It's not uncomfortable in terms of plumping. I'm not really even sure how much plumping it actually does. All I know is that it looks really nice on my lips and it's comfortable, and I love the tone. So I love this and I highly recommend it. I don't know if I would like a lighter shade or not, but I do love this plummy shade. I think it's absolutely stunning. Another plumper is from Hourglass. These are their Phantom Serum Plumping Glosses. I have the shade Trace, which is like this brown color. And I don't really like it on its own, but I typically will pair it with like a more cool toned deep brown on the outer and then tap this through the middle, and I really love it that way. I'll swatch it so you can kind of see the shade, but I love it that way when I pair it with that kind of liner. This is like very shiny, so it looks really pretty on the lips. I don't necessarily think, again, that it does like a ton of plumping. I just think that it's so shiny that it looks really great on my lips. And it's also hydrating. It doesn't last very long, so you have to like reapply, but I don't really mind that with a product like this. So yeah, I like this, and I have like 2 more shades on my wish list that I would potentially pick up. And especially going into summer, I just feel like this tone is so pretty with that kind of a lip combo. I've been using it a lot, so yeah, I really like this one and I would recommend it. Next up, I thought this product was horrible. It's the Kosas Dream Beam Comfy Smooth Sunscreen. I got this in like an offer and it came free in a bag, and I was excited to try it because I haven't really tried anything from Kosas in a long time. And one, it's tinted, which I didn't realize, which is fine. I was just like not expecting that. And then 2, it pretty much looked like trash on my skin. Unfortunately, this did not even play well with my natural skin chemistry. It like had started like bunching and peeling up all in my chin and then all up randomly over here. So I'd kind of just like swiped it away. And I was like, oh, I'll apply my makeup over and it should be, we'll see how it does. Nope, it continued to just peel up. And I gave it like 5 minutes to set in, which is way longer than I give the IT Cosmetics one. And yeah, so this just did not play well with my skin at all, performed really terribly, so I wouldn't recommend, and I'm not gonna keep it. Next up is the Dior Backstage Face Quads. I have the Glitz one, and then I also have the Universal one. I am equally obsessed with both. I think they are both stunning. Both of them work for my skin tone. I was worried about that, but I think that they look great. This one is actually a little bit like cooler tone than I expected it to be, which was interesting. Sorry, I'm trying to like let you guys see, but they're just so reflecty. But I like these because they're so freaking sparkly. I use them on the inner corner. I use them on the brow bone. I use them all over the cheek as a blush topper, as a bronzer topper. I'm a level with you guys. I have actually been loving these more than I anticipated and have used them so much. Like, they are the highlights that I am constantly wanting to reach for. And I just feel like they're so freaking pretty. Like, I know that everybody like hypes these up and they're a staple. They're more of a cult classic. And like, usually I'm not really into products like that. But like, these for me are like living up to that hype piece. And if you had your eye on them, I'd say snag them. They're great. I love them. They are definitely staples, things that I actively reach for, and I'm getting a great amount of use out of them. They're beautiful. Love. Next up, I have from IT Cosmetics the Confidence in a Serum Gloss. These are supposed to be like super hydrating and provide hydration like over time and are supposed to improve the overall hydration of your lips. I love these. They are actually so hydrating. They are comfortable on the lips. The tint is beautiful. My favorite one is this shade here. They only have 3 shades. And I don't know the shade of this one because they came with these like stickers. But the way that this is, it just gives like drugstore to me, which I freaking hate. So I was able to peel it off. These two. Don't know where that cut off. Dogs start wilding out. But these are the 3 shades. The one in the middle, this one is definitely my favorite. I think that is so pretty. I was like, if I can get it open. I love the tone of it. Ugh, so gorgeous. And then the other one is this like brownie pink, which I was worried would be too warm. But if I put it on lightly, I don't mind the shade. I'll definitely use it. It's just not like my go-to one. And then the more like clear iridescent one, it's so pretty. I use it on its own or as a topper. Glossy, gorgeous. I love the smell of them. They're like fruity. So yeah, I really like these and I've loved them more than I thought I would. And I literally use them all the time on the go. They're always in my bag. So highly recommend these if you're wanting a hydrating gloss. Next up, I have the Ciate London I Am Woman What's Your Superpower palette. We had gotten this in Ipsy and I tried it a few times. God, if I can get it open. I put it back in the box because I'm decluttering it. I guess it doesn't need to be in the box for that, but I was like, well, I still have the box, so like, why not, you know? But I'm decluttering it. The reason being is the mattes suck. The shimmers are so freaking beautiful, stunning, like they are so sparkly, like beautiful on the lid. Obsessed with the shimmers. But the mattes are terrible. They remind me of expired matte shadows. They blend into nothing and are super patchy. So yeah, for that reason, I'm not hanging on to it, which sucks because like I was actually really excited when we got this in Ipsy. I was like, oh, I love this. Like I will definitely keep this. This color story is like everything that I love. But yeah, if I'm not going to be able to use the mattes in a palette because the quality is poor, I'm not going to hang on to it. So yeah, this for me, this sucked, which stinks. Next up is the Chanel No. 1 Revitalizing Foundation. I have this in the shade B10, and this is a good shade for me. It's starting to get a little bit light for me right now, but overall a good shade. I'll swatch it out for you in case you are curious. It is like very heavily florally fragranced, which like nobody's surprised about. I was expecting it. What I was surprised about though, after reading reviews, is how light coverage this is. I would say that this at most is medium coverage, but really I would say it's light to medium, and that's after building. I have to use approximately 4 to 5 pumps of this with a sponge to get a medium-ish coverage, or 3 to 4 pumps with a medium-ish coverage using a brush. So I have to use a lot of this product to get to a semi-decent coverage. And even then, like, you can still see like redness or imperfections or blemishes on my face. So this is just a very like light coverage product, which is not what I was expecting after reading like the description and reading the reviews. It really just didn't hold up to some of its claims. I will say though, like, the finish is really pretty on this and it holds up really well. It's long wearing. So if you're someone who likes a light coverage base, then I think you would love this. I just prefer something more medium to full. So it's not something that I love or would repurchase, and I have to use so much of it that I think I'm gonna blow through it as like a whole. And for $80, I don't want a foundation that I'm gonna just like be able to crank through super quickly because I have to use so much of the product. So yeah, for me, this is gonna be a pass, but I can definitely see a lot of people enjoying it. I am gonna hang on to it because I picked it up with Ulta points and I do think it's pretty, and it's something I won't mind wearing on days where I do want that lighter coverage situation. But it's just not one that I'm gonna reach for all the time because it doesn't get me to where I wanna be. Like, even I'm looking at it right now and like, I'm probably like already down in here. Like, I know you can see this line, but it's down past that line, well down past. And I have not had it that long, you guys. So for me, this is not worth the coin. But yeah, I could see a lot of people really loving it. Last up for review before we get into my empties, I have the Egyptian Queen lipsticks from What's Up Beauty. They come in 3 different shades. I believe I posted I know I posted a reel on IG, but this is the shade I have Raw. And I have lip swatches over on IG, but I'll swatch them here for you as well. I have Raw, really pretty. The shade Anuk, this is what it looks like. The embossing on these is so disgustingly beautiful. Like, oh my God. It made me not want to use them because I'm like, God, these are so pretty. But that's what the swatch looks like right there. Really pretty, like brick warm tone red. And then the shade Seba or Seba, I'm not really sure how you say that, but this is what it looks like. And then there's the swatch. This is the one I prefer, which you probably could have guessed, but I like all of these shades. These are actually, so they're a matte lipstick. I don't know, yeah, they're described just as a matte lipstick, but I would say these are a soft matte lipstick because they are like soft on the lips, they're comfortable, they're not super drying, they don't crumble up or gunk up or anything like that. I'm actually gonna put a little on right now. I have a different lippy on, but it's a matte lipstick and it gets a little drying, so I'm gonna just add a little bit of this because I think it still matches the overall vibe. Oh my look. But yeah, so I have really been loving these. This is the first time that I've tried What's Up Beauty, so I wasn't really sure what to expect, but these are phenomenal. The packaging is weighted, magnetic, which I love. And then also just the, detail to the actual embossing of the products is gorgeous. So yeah, really loved these. I would recommend them. Now we're gonna get into my makeup empties. I've been doing these at the end of speed reviews so that I can also give reviews on the empty products. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into that. Really exciting because I'm finally gonna be able to just throw the shit away. The first product is the Lancome Clip Booster XL Base Mascara. I actually really like this. In fact, I purchased a full size of it, but it's like one of those things that you use to prime your lashes. And it's not only supposed to help like give you like the length and volume that you want, but also it's supposed to condition the lashes for better like lash health. So I really enjoyed it. So I picked up a full size of this. So obviously, I mean, I would recommend it because I've loved it. I also emptied the Kaja Beauty Gloss Shot. This is in the shade Pink Drink, and I actually don't think that they sell these anymore, which sucks because the formula of these is literally so good. Hydrating, glossy, honestly pretty long lasting as well for a gloss. And yeah, I love these, but I think they have like one like value kit with them on Sephora, but that's literally it. Next is the Smashbox Super Fan Mascara. This for me was a good companion mascara, but it doesn't give me the volume that I want from a mascara. It's more lengthening, and I would say it does like some thickening. But I also felt like this was like kind of hard to get off at the end of the night, which I don't really like. So I think that if you like a very like lengthened, fanned out, kind of naturally lash mascara, I think that you would love this, but it's kind of just not for me. Next is the Milani Lip Oil, the Fruit Fetish ones. This one's in the shade Leche. I love this. It has like the most beautiful pink brown tint to it, because usually the ones I use are like the more clear ones with the tint. I've gone through a bajillion of these, so I love these. Highly recommend all of them. Good, beautiful, insanely hydrating, comfy, shiny on the lips, all the things. But yes, I really liked this shade and will probably repurchase this shade, to be honest. I really liked having an option with a little bit more of like a workday tint, if you will. So yeah, loved this. Next up is my Huda Beauty corrector in the shade Peach. I love this. I already have a replacement of it. I just feel like it does a really great job, not only of correcting my darkness on my under eyes, but it lays so beautifully under makeup. And I feel like that's like the game changer, is like my concealer goes on over it effortlessly with no issues, no additional dryness, texture, anything like that. So it's really great for correcting and plays so well with makeup. So yeah, I love this and I would highly recommend it if you're in the market for a corrector. Another tried and true for me is the e.l.f. Instant Brow Lift Pencil. I've emptied again a bajillion of these. They are literally $3. They're long lasting, they're easy to use. It's not a micro tip, which I wish it was, but that's like the only drawback. But I can still get a brow that I like and appreciate with this like kind of pencil shape. So I highly recommend it. And for $3, like, you know. And then I also finished the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation in the shade 1.5. This was like a very, very winter shade for me. I had to mix it most of the time because it was too light. Right now I would be a different shade, but I love this product. I've used this many times before. It just looks so good on the skin. It is full coverage, long wearing, comfortable. Yeah, all the things. It just makes my makeup look so darn good. Like, this is definitely one that I'll repurchase, and I highly recommend this one. It is so underrated in my opinion. Literally no one talks about it. And then lastly, that's right, another empty, the Huda Beauty Creamy Kohl liner, the black one. I've emptied probably like 4 of these now. I love this in the waterline and on the tight line. I've also used it on the wing to smudge. It does a nice job doing that. It's not, I struggle with all pencils doing that. It does it really well on the lower, but not as well on the top. But I love this for waterline and tight line purposes because it just stays so well. Very long lasting. But yeah, highly recommend this one still. And yeah, that's it. I'm ready to go. I have stuff to do. I'm freaking I'm freaking hot. I'm ready to move on. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, I will see you all in my next one. Bye.